Hi folks, this is Danny at Bradley James Classics, and today's offering is a simply beautiful example of a Jaguar XJS from 1990. Now this car was originally supplied to Japan, which is quite good news for a British Jaguar car owner. A couple of reasons. I guess one ought to be the fact that the Japanese seem to be pretty obsessed with looking after their cars, and they do actually allow the British market to buy some fabulous models which have really been very well looked after over in Japan. And another reason is the Japanese cars tend to enjoy a slightly better climate, to say the least, and things like serious corrosion, etc. are certainly not as prominent as you'd see in cars from the Northern Hemisphere, for example. Now, this one, if you do the conversion from kilometres into miles, it's covered just 33,000 miles, and for a 1990 V12 Jaguar, that is rather special. The colour scheme is superb. It's had a full professional valet. I'm not entirely sure if that's called slate grey, but it's a metallic grey colour that looks absolutely awesome. If you was ordering a new car today, you'd consider it in this colour. That's how up to date it looks still. It's got a contrasting blue hood, which is in excellent condition, and the interior looks very special too. That's all in blue hide, and of course the walnut trim. It's a beautiful place to be inside a Jaguar of this era. They really were special cars. They look fantastic in this colour scheme, and the specification of this one is very impressive. It does have power seats, it does have electric heated seats, it has an electric roof, it has electric mirrors and doors and cruise control. Fully loaded, you'd say. The famous Jaguar lattice alloys in excellent condition all round. A set of matching good tyres, quality tyres, all in good condition. The chrome work on the car is wonderful. It's very clean under the engine bay as well. And it was actually came from a Mercedes specialist. The gentleman had, I believe, traded this car in against a valuable Mercedes-Benz, and then my customer, or the gentleman this car come from, was able to buy it from the Mercedes specialist, and he's enjoyed and loved it very much. In fact, we're selling this car on his behalf. He's a local Jaguar enthusiast, and yes, he certainly picked a good one here. I've had the benefit of driving this car. We've just had it MOT'd. It's passed its MOT without any advisories, which is quite impressive, because a 1990 car. So at the time of making this video, that makes it, wow, 34 years old. Remarkable. And it looks in such good condition. I mean, it's an absolute credit to its owners. The V12 engine is quite something to behold. It sounds great, it's smooth, its presence on the road is remarkable. I actually think the XJS, as it gets older, values of you've been seeing them rise, and I think it's for good reason. I mean, it had one hell of a job to take over from the E-Type Jaguar in the 1970s, but it had a long run. I mean, the E-Type did go through some iterations and changes. We saw different bumpers, different styling, dashboard changes, so on and so forth, but fundamentally the big cat remained pretty much the same. This is a full Cabriolet model. You may be aware that earlier cars had more of a Targa type roof, I guess, for want of a better term. And this car, I think in this colour scheme looks particularly nice. Now, the car did have a full professional valet and a machine polish, but I'm going to run over these panels. Now, I've had a good look round. I can't see any evidence of any paintwork on the car. It retains its original stripes here, which is a contrasting grey stripe with a little burgundy one above it. And I'm going to run over the paintwork so you can see just how good it does look, down to those wheels, which I've mentioned are in excellent condition. And just going back on the offside rear wing, it's a long panel. Look down the side of that door, you can see that I can't see any parking dents or certainly scrapes or scratches. A real credit. Got a fly here, we get him off. Same with this front wing. Go down low, you can see that this car has cleaned up particularly well. Beautiful paintwork, even very minuscule. Got one or two tiny little marks here, and I think you could afford it a couple of stone chips, but there are just a couple. A long sweeping bonnet, all in good condition. The chrome on this front bumper is in excellent order. You'll notice headlamp washers here. We're now moving to the near side front wing. Again, excellent condition, no scuffs on the bumpers. This front road wheel, from being very fussy, it's got a tiny little scuff here, there's a tiny little one there. Otherwise, the wheel itself, excellent condition. This front wing, very good. A little stone chip there, no, I am getting fussy. This is the near side, so the passenger side door, equally in lovely order. Beautiful paintwork, and as I just showing you up and down this car, I just really want to demonstrate to you how straight it is. That's the roof now, 34-year-old roof. That feels great. It's in good order. Thankfully, a glass rear screen. There's no rear seats. There's more of a little sort of bulkhead with a window that a little opening panel. That's where the motor for the roof goes, actually. Going to go around the back. You'll see that the bumper is in super order. This rear panel, excellent, as is the boot itself. It's a nice expansive boot space in these, very deep. And this carpet is in excellent condition. There's your spare. That doesn't look to have seen a lot of action. Very good order. Battery sits under here, and all in lovely order, as you would expect. Pretty huge, and I'm told that you can fit golf clubs between there and there, which is probably quite important to some Jaguar owners. And electric aerial. It does have a modern hi-fi system in it, which I'll show you, but I just wanted to spend a bit of time just showing you just how lovely the car does present. Well, let me see. Let's have a look inside. That blue hide with the walnut trim. Good woodwork, not always the way. It can blemish. You've got the tiny little crack here. But other than that, superior condition, as are all the seats. And that's the rear little box that I mentioned to you. Electric roof, electric windows. On the side here, we've got the ability to heat our seats. We can do the top half, we can do the bottom half. That's a lumbar support here, and that's a heater here. This is an Alpine stereo that has a little microphone up here, so I think that's a Bluetooth, so you can use your phone legally in the car. This is a trip computer, pretty basic compared to what you get on the modern car these days, but it did show you things like fuel economy and average. On a V12 Jaguar, you probably don't want to be reminded of that every moment, because it's probably quite grim reading, but you've got to spend your money on something, and why not let it be the engine of a Jaguar. MOT certificate, that's just been gained, and there's no advisories. And just to remind you, So this is 54,000 kilometers, and actually there's no miles per hour. This is still in kilometers. So actually when you're doing 60 miles an hour, it will say 100 miles an hour, because this is the Japanese dashboard that's still in the car. As a reminder to use the good stuff when it comes to fuel. Your gauge is through here, rev counter at the end, light switch, and all in lovely, lovely order. It's a real credit to the owner. These seats are wonderful, actually. They've cleaned up like new. I mean, I must admit they were in pretty good order to start with, but I think the leather's all been fed, which is lovely in a Jaguar. And the same thing with these door cards. Now, I'm going to try and open this bonnet for you, but I've got a feeling the actual bonnet lever on an XJS is the other side. So I need to pop round there. And this way I can give you a little peek underneath the bonnet as well. It was really clean when it came in. And all you do, just pull that down. Oh, if you look closely here, some Japanese writing, and Japanese cars have got to have this little, I believe that's like a warning flare, the sort of thing you'd find on a boat. Now, Jaguars also have this little clasp underneath here, about there. So do that, and then this pulls up. Huge bonnet, and here's that legendary V12 Jaguar engine. Lots of spark plugs to buy. All looking very standard here, and there's a lot of it. And as you can see, she is rather clean under the bonnet there. This runs through what some of the extras are on the car, so if you know what these codes are, that will tell you a bit about the trim itself. So that's really great to know. And a few little bits of information underneath. Chassis number in the front there, the usual place. And that is what the engine bay looks like. And it's a nice, impressive looking engine, I've got to say. And there she is, looking rather special. Right, let's drop this down and close the hood. Just put that hook in, and you push that down, and then the lever pulls up, and then that's locked into position. And just a little tip, the roof works perfectly well, by the way. There's a technique. You need to make sure the doors are shut, you need to make sure the handbrake is on, and then there's a button in the dashboard, and as you do that, the windows drop and the roof opens, and then you've got open top driving. Now there's a few photos that I will involve in the advert which show with the roof down. Well, a 33,000 mile 1990 Jaguar XJS Cabriolet V12, automatic of course, in absolutely lovely condition, genuine. I've had the opportunity to look under the car. It's rock solid, and no sign of welding that's been done or needs doing, which is a good sign, because sadly a lot of XJSs aren't with us now, because back in the day where they weren't worth so much, they'd have a bit of welding required, and that would be enough to make the car unviable, and a lot of good cars were lost that way. I suspect this is a car that's probably always been garaged by looking at its condition of its paintwork, and therefore a true survivor. And having lived in Japan for the beginning of its life, I think that probably would have had a bearing on it as well. There's some nice paperwork that comes with this car. There's some of the earlier stuff, but there is paperwork showing servicing, repairs, that sort of thing. So, just to summarise, 1990 Jaguar XJS V12 Cabriolet, in superior condition, drives absolutely wonderful. In fact, it looks very gracious on the road, some very admiring glances, because I think people realise that they're seeing something a bit special coming past, because you don't see a huge amount of these on the road in regular use anymore. So I think when a model like this comes past, it will get you noticed with some admiring glances, because These are a well-loved British icon. We offer a full UK delivery service at a very competitive price. We need your postcode for a quote. We can part exchange your existing classic, modern or light commercial vehicle. Again, we'd need the details of that car to give you a trade-in price, and that can work out quite well, where we deliver your new car, we take away your old one. Our customers quite like that service, and we're very fair with our part exchanges. Obviously we prefer a nice classic, but if it's a modern car, we do have relationships with local modern car specialists who underwrite those cars, and they take them off our hands. This car would be a beautiful daily driver. It would equally sit into a Jaguar collection very well. I would imagine it's got to be in the top handful of finest examples available, purely based on the fact that it's been used. It's done 33,000 miles, but it looks to have been treated with kid gloves. The paintwork looks absolutely stunning. The roof is in excellent condition, as is the chrome, as is the interior. It's a car that really just needs to be enjoyed and driven and loved. Well, folks, this is Danny at Bradley James Classics signing out. Thank you for your attention on today's video. Bye now.